boys aren't here, I can do it with Wyatt.
Here we go. Hit it.
I can't hear myself.
Me either.
She left. On.
Nothing out of this one either.
Don't you have to have stuff hooked up to these?
That's what I thought.
She already gone.
Yeah.
We couldn't find the male and female. Female, whatever. Yeah, right here. It's this. This to this. Hello? It says it's working. Like it's picking up. I hope they can't hear me. See? Can't hear Darren.
What about those?
I don't know, do you? We just can't hear it out of the mic. Out of the headset.
Get on YouTube.
I can't, I don't have data. Our Wi-Fi's down.
So where is that big one?
Stop.
Something's supposed to be in here?
It's you? It's in there? I thought there was. Hey Darren, can you get on YouTube? Try it getting on it on the Mac. She was on it.
Yellow is minimized.
Here comes the serve. Out. Strike.
I cannot believe how hot it is.
Sorry. What it is. What's up? Got this money in the game. Okay. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire. I'm walking on fire. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Oh no.
So you can hear? Okay, they can't hear each other. We didn't think it was on. So. Okay.
She's been singing this whole time.
Left hand side. Yeah. Yeah. There's an extra piece. Right, yeah. Okay. As stereo out. So So it's an extra wire. But it's supposed to be attached, but it's not attached now. Is that what you're saying? Oh, it is attached. I see where that needs to be. Emma, you were right. It's these two, but I don't see what needs to be hooked up on there. Right. Yeah. Above the number one. Like the headphones are in the 1 and the 2. And then the other. Oh, okay. You're talking about the prong. Like the. Okay. Well, I have them hooked up, but they might be hooked up. Okay. I have them hooked up in the wrong spot.
There we go.
Now can you hear each other? Okay, that was it. I had them hooked up. They were just in the wrong spot. All right. Thanks. Sorry. Bye.
How do we get to this?
Oh, now we lost that?
I don't know where the game is.
Oh.
Ignore my singing.
Hey, you're on, by the way.
Well, can you hear me? Okay. We're in the third set of the volleyball game. Freshmen.
Where the St. Genevieve Dragons are playing the Notre Dame Bulldogs.
There went the serve. Set. Pass. Bump.
Hit by Chloe. Bulldogs dig it up. Bulldogs send a free ball over. Bella Burton with the pass. Cammie set. And Jada sends another free ball over. Bulldogs dig that one up and hit it over. Actually, it was hit into the net. So that's a point for the Dragons. The score is now 11-3.
We
Dragons
were
are winning.
having technical difficulties. That's why we are late. The split 1-1 right now in the third set.
Yes.
Cammie with the serve. Hi, Wyatt. That was a missed serve. Bulldogs take the not lead. The score is now 12-4. Wyatt, we're live. Bump. Set. Set over by Jada to the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs tip it back over to the Dragons. Maggie with the pass. Looks like the Bulldogs were in the net. Point for the Dragons. Score is now 13-4. The Dragons winning. Serve over. Bulldogs set it up, tip it over. Bella with the pass, Cammie set, and Chloe with the hit from middle, and it is good.
That was good placement by Chloe right there.
Right on the line.
Here comes the serve.
Bulldogs dig it up, send a tip over. Megan pass, Cammie set to back, and Jada hits it over. Falls in between the Bulldogs blockers and the net. It's a point for the Dragons.
That was actually point for the Bulldogs. It fell on our side. Pass, set, back row hit, and it's good. That was a good back row attack.
Megan now up to serve. It is good. Bulldogs dig it up, tip it over. Cammie with the pass, passes it over. Bulldogs hit it back at him. And it is down. Point for the Bulldogs.
Here comes the serve by Notre Dame. It's good. Pass over the net, tip by Notre Dame. St. John hits it over. Notre Dame with the pass over the net. Here comes a hit by St. John. Received and another pass over. 2 hits by St. John, so Notre Dame's going to claim the ball. Just got word that varsity softball with a tough loss to Park Hill Central 1-7. Nice effort, ladies. Served by Notre Dame, and it's out. Dragons have the lead 16-7 here in the third quarter. Half, set, whatever sport this is. Serve was good by Jada.
Bulldogs send a free ball over. Bella passes it. Jada with the set, and Maggie hits it over, and it is out. Never mind. The Bulldogs were in the net. Point for the Dragons.
Can we interview Wyatt between games? Serve over by Notre Dame. Pass over the net. Notre Dame attempts a hit, but it goes in the net. Good for a Dragons point. Serve was good. Hit over by Notre Dame, tipped by Jada. Good for a Notre Dame point. Good rally by St. John. Notre Dame's keeping it up.
Free ball over. Chloe passes it. Maggie with the hit over. Notre Dame picks it up, sends it over. Chloe pass, Jada set. Hit by Bella. Bulldogs pick that one up too and hit it back at the Dragons. Dragons send it back over in 1 hit. Bulldogs set it up and hit. Looks like the Dragons were in the net on that one.
That was a good rally there.
Score is now 18-10 with the Dragons still on top.
Serves over. Pass. Dig out of the net, but it looks like that one was too low to be able to receive it back, but good hustle there.
Bulldogs now up to serve. It is good. Passed by Chloe. Cammie with the set. Bella sends it over with the set. And it was short. The Bulldogs could not get to that one. Point for the Dragons. Maggie back to serve. Bulldogs send it over with a free ball. Chloe with the pass. Jada set. Megan hits it. Bulldogs send that one over. And the Dragons hit it back at them. That play was really close to the net. Good job to the Dragons for finishing. Maggie with another serve. It's good. Bulldogs pass it up. Set. Well, they set it over. Pass by Bella. Jada set. And Megan with the hit. Bulldogs dig it up. And set it back over. Jada tips it back at the Bulldogs, but they pick it up and send it back over with a tip. Chloe picks it up. Jada with the 10 hit set. Maggie with the 10 hit, and it's good. Score is now 21-11. 4 more points to go, and the Dragons will win it.
Serves over. It's good. Pass by Notre Dame. Set. Here's a hit. Oh, ricocheted off Jada's arm to Cammie, which was a hard pass to get to. Makes the score 21-12. Dragons on top. Here's the serve. And it's good. Pass. Set. And the hit. Here's this hit for Notre Dame. And it's good. Pass by Jada. Pass. Back row attack in the net. Serve was good by Notre Dame. Set. Bella with the hit. Pass by Notre Dame. Set him up. Good pass. Set. Here goes into the net. Notre Dame's been going on a good rally. We'll have a timeout called for the Dragons. So, Darren, what can you tell me about the upcoming sports this week?
Well, I know that the volleyball team has a game tomorrow against DeSoto at home. I'm not sure about coming up games, but I know that our homecoming football game is September 23rd against Potosi, and that should be a very well-matched game. And I know that this past Friday, the St. John girls golf team did very well. Madison Drews placed first, as she has several times already. Megan Selby placed third, and Tess Biat placed ninth. And also, the girls softball team has their senior night coming up next Wednesday at home, starting at 5:30. I believe they play Festus on that night, and they played Central Rebels tonight, so.
Thank you. Looks like the girls will take the court again. Serves up by Notre Dame, and it's good.
Jada with the pass, Cammie pass, and Bella hits it over. Bulldogs dig it up, free ball it over. Dragons try setting it up here. Megan with the hit. Bulldogs dig it up, set it back up. Dragons setting it up again. Bella with the hit, and it's blocked, but Dragons still pick it up. Megan tips it over, and the Bulldogs are in the net. That was a good rally there. Let's see if the Dragons can finish it off right here. Cammie with the serve, and it's in the net. The Dragons sending it over on a 10 hit, and it's good. Score is now 23-16. Dragons winning. Bella back to serve. Serve is good. Bulldogs dig it up. Tip it over, really deep, but Maggie picks it up. Perfect pass. Cammie bumps it over. Dragons digging it back up, sending it over on a set. Bulldogs trying to set it up, and they tip it right in the middle of the court where no Dragon was. Point for the Bulldogs.
Serves over by Notre Dame. Pass. Set.
Jada with the hit.
Notre Dame sends it over. St. John sets it up. And it's good. That was in the court.
Game point here.
See if Dragons can finish it off. There's the serve, and it's out. 24-18, Dragons on top. Still game point for these girls. Here comes the serve. Pass. Set. See if they can get it hit. Bounces off the net, and it is good. And that is another Dragon victory for your SGHS freshman volleyball team.
Thanks for tuning in. Emma Meyer and Darren Brown finishing this off. See you later.
Bye-bye.
things up, bro. You can still hear us if it's not recorded. No, I can't hear you. Turn these things up. They're not on. Watch. Hello. Here. Hey, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Did you turn up loops?
Yeah, turn all 3 of them up. Look.
Luke. Wyatt, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Not really.
Seriously?
I mean, kind of. It's a little.
Hold on. What? I wonder
No,
what.
that says max.
Hey, can you hear me, Gabe?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think we're good. I think we're good.
All right,
Alright,
but
alright.
how do I click like to turn it to live?
Hey, Trevor, how do we start it?
How would I start it? It did
No,
start.
no, we're not, Trevor.
How do you know we're live? Well, how do you get it on live?
It's not. It's not live.
Well, how do you get it online? Like, how do you stop it?
It's not live.
Bull crap! It is not live. I'm about to drop an F word. Well, stop it and restart.
Do you unstream it? I wouldn't mess with it because then I don't know how to get it back. And if you miss the varsity game,
The time's not going, Wyatt. Oh, okay, it's going. Welcome to Peggy J. Johnson game. We have a junior varsity game versus the Hillsborough Hawks and the St. Who's
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Sorry, I'm mixed up. The JV football team's playing Hillsborough Hawks. We have the junior varsity game versus Notre Dame versus St. Genevieve.
Thank you, Luke. That was a great entrance.
For your starters for Notre Dame, you have number 15, Alex Clark. Number 3, Maddie Dill. Number 2, Hannah Dotson. Number 24, Rachel Essner. Number 14, Megan Heisener. And for St. John, your starters are number 11, Maggie Bowman. Number 13, Rachel Bowman. Number 15, Bella Burton. Number 43, Cami Grass. Your libero is Haley Grass. And number 7, Jada Grimminger.
Logrim.
We're about to get this game on the way.
So, I was saying a little interview with Gary Lomondere at half.
No, Gabe, we are not going to do that.
Scratch that. We have Wyatt Lomondere here doing the play-by-play.
Hello, everybody.
And Gabe Grimminger working the camera, and my Luke Brewster just
I love
chipping
cameras.
chipping in. We're hopefully this is not streaming to YouTube because you guys are going to get the best comedic hour of your life.
I love cameras.
We're about to get this game underway.
And it looks like who's to serve first? Probably Notre Dame
Looks
being
like
away.
Notre Dame's going to
You
serve the
think?
ball first here.
And yeah, we got the wrong starters for St. John. We'll get you to those.
And Notre Dame served it. A good receive there by the libero. Sets it over. Brooke Weiler tips it over. Notre Dame hits it back over. Good receive. Notre Dame with the
Big
spike,
spike.
and it is out. First point of the game goes to St. John.
That's a
Close
big-
call by line judge right there.
Yeah, there's a big spike. Looked like I can't even see your number.
Oh, it falls over the net for the second
Good
point of the
serve.
game.
Good serve.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for that technical difficulty there. We are back to the game here. It is 9-12. Notre Dame is in the lead. Notre Dame hits it over. St. John sets it up, and with the spike, ooh, Notre Dame, good defense there.
Sends it
Hits
up. Oh, good play by
Line
Essner.
judge.
I think Essner ran into the line judge stand, I guess. Makes a play on it.
Oh, point goes to Notre Dame.
I think she should have let that one go and let the person behind her take it. She kind of just hit it straight into the net.
You're right.
Number 13 back to serve for Notre Dame. That is Abby Wilson.
Good serve receive there by St. John. Sets it up.
Shauna Wortman.
Kills it.
Oh,
Ooh, and it
sends it
is
straight
out of
out.
bounds. It is now 9 to
That was a
14.
close one.
Notre Dame is still in the lead.
St. John sends it over. Just a push serve by Brookweiler.
Oh,
Hit it out of bounds.
Hard spike, but
10 to 14
adjust.
now.
Gonna have to adjust. Hit the serves down.
St. John with the serve. Good dig there by Notre Dame. They set it up and spiked it over, and it spikes
sends
it
it
out of
out.
bounds. It is now 11 to 14 Dragons.
St. John's calling back. 11-14. Shauna Warman back to serve for St. John.
Ooh, good serve. And
Hard
it sails
serve.
out of bounds.
It's a good line drive, just had a little bit too much muscle to it.
We have a substitute here for Notre Dame.
I think that's number 11 to serve. That is Laura Santana for Notre Dame.
It's up, it's over, it's good. Good serve you see there by the libero. Ooh, she tips it over.
Smart play by Taylor Matthews, but Notre Dame adjusted.
Ooh, and they
Hard
slam that one
serve.
down.
hard spike.
I think that was number 25, Jillian Ryan with a hard spike.
It's now 11 to 16. Notre Dame is still in the lead.
Santana back to serve for Notre Dame still.
It's up, it's good, it's over. Good dig there by St. John's libero.
Oh,
and
no communication.
error there for
Fusion.
St.
I think
John's.
Miss Castro should take a timeout, get her team together.
That
Yeah.
man, look at she read your mind, Luke.
I
Or
might
he
as
read
well
his mind.
coach.
Or let's talk about softball. When's their next game?
They play tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Actually, yes. They did lose tonight to Park Hills. I believe the score was 7-1.
Not bad.
Good game, good.
They play
Good effort.
tomorrow, being September 7th,
Yep.
versus Festus at home at 4:30. Hopefully, can get a good win, get the team on a roll, maybe.
Have some supporters there tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We will be broadcasting the game tomorrow night, the softball game.
4:30. That starts 4:30.
So go there and cheer on your Dragons.
I do believe the first cross-country meet is in Forest Park this weekend, too.
Yes.
September 10th. Santana back to serve for Notre Dame.
It is 11 to 17. Notre Dame is in the lead. Good receive there by St. John. Sets it, hits it. Ooh,
Hard serve.
Ooh.
Send
good
it back.
spike there by. It
Rachel-
is St. John's ball.
Rachel Bowman
get
with a
the
hard
point.
spike just set up that point.
It is 12 to 17.
Julia McClin back to serve.
Hits it over, sets it up, and it
Oh,
is
Good
blocked by St. John. They
think that
get the point.
Ella Reed that got that block.
St.
Good
John
job,
now
Ella.
down 4. Still in the first set.
Serve, it's good. Serve receive there. Spiked, and it is tipped by St. John.
St. Jim
Set it up.
Set up the spike.
Rachel Bowman, it is
Oh,
good.
Another good spike by Rachel Bowman. She's really putting up some points for St. Jim.
It's now 14-17. Julia hits it over into
Ooh.
the net, and that
A
will
foot
be
higher, and
Notre
that would have
Dame's
been a good serve. Number 14 for Notre Dame back to serve.
ball. That is their libero.
Megan Heisner.
Good pass, good set. He sets it back over. Notre Dame sets it up. In the middle, tips it down. Good defense there by St. John. And Haley comes and spikes it over. And they hit it back, and it is
Oh.
down. That is Notre Dame's
good
point.
placement. Good placement.
She found a hole where no one was. Heisner still back to serve for Notre Dame.
It is right over the net. Good dig. St. John hits it back over. Set by Notre Dame. And spike tipped, but St. John keeps it up. Hit back over by Ella Reed, and it is out of bounds.
I think they tipped it, didn't they?
I was thinking so too there, Luke.
But Notre Dame gets the point. I think they tipped it. It's
It's either tip
14-20.
or net. Oh,
There,
there's the net.
There it is.
St. John got the point back. Redemption.
And now
Karma.
15-19.
Karma.
Brooke Weiler to serve for St. John. Hits it over. Notre Dame hits it back over. It's dig there by Haley. Sets it up. And Rachel Bowman hits it way out of bounds.
I just keep saying tips. Notre Dame up 21-15.
St. John's going to need to lock in here to get this first set. Oh, miscommunication by the back row for St. Genevieve. That is Notre Dame's point. They are up 22 to 15. Notre Dame serve the ball here. It's up and it's over. It's good. Oh, good.
Good
pick
play
up
by
there.
Angel Parker.
Set spike for Notre Dame and
Way
out of
out.
bounds.
Good point by St. John. Oh, they gave the point to the wrong person.
They gave it to Notre Dame.
Notre
Maybe
Dame gets the
they're
point?
in the net.
Question
Looked
mark?
like St. John was in the net. It's now 15-23. Notre Dame's is good. Sets it up. Ella Reed, and it is blocked, but they keep it alive.
Good save there.
They hit it back. Ooh, it's tipped by Notre Dame. Notre Dame sets it up to the middle. She hits it into the net, and it's St. Genevieve's point. 16-23 now.
Back to serve is Rachel Bowman. Notre Dame to spike. St. John's return, sets it. Shauna Workman with a good spike. Good
And it is
placement.
good. Good effort there by Notre Dame, but can't come up with it. It's now 17-23.
St. John really needs to get on a roll here. Try to get this first game, first set.
Rachel Bowen serving. Hits it over. Receive there. By Notre Dame, they set it up. Tips it over, and they find the hole.
Good placement.
That's good play by Notre Dame.
Game point here for Notre Dame. And they have a
Looks like number 2 to serve for Notre Dame. That is Hannah Dodson.
number 17 comes out of the game for Notre Dame. And it's up. It's over. It's good. Good.
Oh.
Brooke keeps it alive. Hits it over. Notre Dame keeps it alive.
That's a good save for
They
Notre
bump
Dame.
it back over. Let's use this, St. John. Sets it up. Ella Reed with the spike, and it is good. Right through the hands of the Notre Dame defenders. It's now 18-24.
Still game point for Notre Dame, but hopefully St. John can just get on a roll here.
Haley back to serve. It's up and it's good. Notre Dame hits it over and
Couldn't get a hold of it.
St. John
misses the
catches another
ball.
break. Get another point within 5 now.
19-24. Keep it going here, girls.
Look at this. I got another one.
It's up and it's good. Good serve there by Haley. Notre Dame tips it over and ooh, good
good
job there by
save.
Brooke Weiler to keep it alive, and St. John hits it out of bounds. That is- First set goes to Notre Dame, 25-19.
St. John almost came back. They got on a little roll.
They were on a good roll at the end of the first set.
Switching sides here.
The girls golf had a tournament over the weekend they did very well in. Madison Darush got first.
I think all placed.
I think they did all place.
They
The
all-
team got first overall, I believe.
Team got first overall. That's impressive. Where were they at? Camdenton?
I think
Or Old Kinderhook, I think.
I think that's where it was.
It's a weird golf course.
It's probably a nice place, Luke. You just haven't been there before.
Well, if you have a golf course called Old Kinderhook, I'm pretty sure it's probably pretty old, pretty aged. But at least St. John can come away with a good
Good win.
put girls golf on the map.
Some hardware for the school.
Let's hope the cross country team, after losing all those good cross country
Amazing
runners,
D1
can pick it up,
Olympian
pick it up,
runners.
and just fill the shoes of the people that graduated.
Ben Nagger's returning though.
The whole boys team is returning, actually.
Holy boys.
They finished second in state last year,
Last
so
year. They're
let's hope
looking
we
for
can
first this
get
year.
a first place qualification. That'd be awesome.
Would be great.
JV football is going on right now outside.
Hopefully they can get some redemption on Hillsborough after Hillsborough's varsity beat up on St. John varsity.
It was still a good game by St. John. They had a ton of offense. They have about 380 something total yards of offense.
Yep.
With a total of 3 yards rushing, I believe, the whole game.
They have a pretty easy team coming up Friday. Hopefully with Fredericktown they can get a good dub.
That's terrible. Don't say that. Don't say that.
The Fredericktown game is at home Friday, so we hope to see a lot of St. John fans out.
We will be broadcasting that game as well.
Trevor Jury is going to be broadcasting your football game like every Friday, so if you like listening to him, tune in.
Yeah,
He'll give you the play-by-play action.
he does a very good job too, him and Kyle Schweiss. They just
They work really well together. Yes, they do.
he took a little break last week at Hillsborough and
Had a few girls fill the role.
they're not
They
as
did a
good
good
as,
job,
not
but
as good as
Not as
T.
good as the
Jury.
two boys.
We looked 50.
I believe Trevor shot a 66 over the weekend.
In golf, yes.
That is
That's very impressive.
outstanding.
That is
I don't know golf, but
that is 6
you
under
guys
par.
talk
If anybody does
6
not know
under
St.
par.
John's.
Don't know what that means.
St.
Hopefully
John's.
it's good.
All right, back to the game here.
We got
Back-
about 30 seconds
back to
till
live action.
the second set starts. Hopefully St. John can just send this game into 3 sets and then take a win. Can I not say that I hope St. John gets a win?
I hope they win too, Luke.
So do I.
And St. John gets the ball to serve to start the second set here. It's up and it's good. Good return there by Notre Dame. They set it up and they hit it over and out of bounds. St. John gets the first point of the second set.
That's 1-0 St. John. Taylor Matthews back to serve.
I would like to drop in on here and just comment on Gabe's fashion tonight with his
Notre Dame hits it over.
Toms are live,
Gets-
Trevor.
Kept it going there. St. John hit it over and
Oh, out.
maybe
Touch it?
tipped.
Oh,
No, it is
it's
not.
out. It's out.
It is tied 1-1.
Number 2 for Notre Dame back to serve.
It is up and it is good. Serve receive there by St. John. It's up and ooh, good
Hard
spike.
serve
But
spike by Julia Ketting.
and then Notre Dame hits it into the net for the second point for St. John of the second set.
It's like number 20. Oh, tough last name. Chloe Untereiner.
Untereiner. Good pronunciation, Luke.
We tried. Good serve.
Good serve.
Oh.
Ooh, and it sails out of bounds.
Almost caught the line. Notre Dame gets that point.
It is now 2-2. Notre Dame with the serve.
Jillian Ryan back to serve.
It's up and floats it over. Good receive, good set. And Rachel
Hard
Bowman
spikes.
hammers it, but is tipped. Notre Dame sets it up. Sets it back over.
Oh.
St. John keeps it alive, and they cannot get it back over, though.
Risky move for Taylor Matthews. She kind of just hit it into the ground.
So it's now 2-3. Notre Dame takes the lead. Notre Dame, it's up, and it's over. Good serve receive by St. John. Julia McClin hits it over. Notre Dame keeps it alive. Sets it over. Ooh, good defense there by St. John. Rachel Bowman hits it. It's tipped by Notre Dame. They set it back up.
Ooh,
Ooh,
good
Haley Grass
spike.
with a good dig. Set it. St. John sets it, tips it over. And
In the net.
Notre Dame was in the net. So St. John gets the point. It's now 3-3 in the early half of the second set. Haley with a great serve. Notre Dame
Good placement by
and
Notre
it
Dame.
falls on the back of the line and is in for Notre Dame's point.
Notre Dame back to serve.
Notre Dame hits it over. Serve receive there by St. John. Brookweiler sets it up. Back row attack and out of bounds.
A little hard of a spike there.
Chloe spikes it over, but it sails out of bounds. 3-5.
Number 24 back to serve for Notre Dame. 3-5 Notre Dame. Hopefully St. John can just get out of this.
Good
Being
set
down.
there. It's up, and
Pretty
Notre
good
Dame
spike.
keeps it alive. Sets it up, bumps it back over. St. John is going to set it up. Haley Grass, and
Sends
she
it
hits
out.
it out of bounds
Sails
too.
it out.
Too much muscle on that one, sends it straight out.
Gotta flick that wrist down.
Look at the wrist. Number 24 for Notre Dame back to serve.
Hits it over. Ooh, keeps it almost in the basket.
Would have been 3 points.
Notre Dame sets it up. The middle hits it, tips it
Oh.
over, but good defense by St. John.
In the net.
And Notre Dame was in the net, so the point goes
St.
to
John
St.
was
John.
in the net.
Yeah,
St. John, I'm sorry, St. John was in the net.
3-7 Notre Dame. St. John needs to get out of this little slump.
St. John needs to get the ball back here. Serve, it's up, it's good.
Ooh,
And
that's
she
not how you
passes
do
it into the net, and Brooke cannot keep it alive, so it's now 3-8 Notre Dame. Hits it over. St. John receives it. Brookweiler
Smart
tips it
play.
over and finds a hole.
Smart play by Brooke.
Good job there by Brookweiler, seeing that hole in the defense. It is now 4-8. St. John gets the ball back here. St. John, it's up. It is over. Good serve by Brookweiler. Notre Dame sets it up. The spike, and St. John tips it over, but Notre Dame's there to keep it alive. Notre Dame's middle tips, and Brookweiler cannot get it back up. It's 4-9 now, Notre Dame.
Number 11 coming in for Notre Dame. Number 2 is going to take a little break. Number 8 back to serve for Notre Dame.
It's up, and it's over. Serve received by St. John. They set it up. Rachel Bowman hits it, but it's blocked by Notre Dame. They set it back up. It tipped over, but Notre Dame's middle keeps it alive. Floats it over, kept it alive by St. John. Rachel slams it home. Good job there, Rachel. It is now 5-9 Notre Dame.
That was a good
Volley.
volleyball.
Volley.
Good volley?
Volley is the correct term.
That was good volley.
Good volley played by volleyball players.
Notre
Ooh.
Dame spikes it, but it hits it out of bounds.
It's way out.
It's off St. John's arm and out of bounds. So Notre Dame is now up 10-5. Notre Dame's libero back to serve. It's up. It is right over the net. Serve received by St. John. Sets it up and tips it over.
No spike.
Notre Dame keeps it alive. They spike it over and
It's out.
sails it out of bounds.
Some good volley right there.
6-10. Notre Dame with the lead. Ella Reed back to serve for St. John.
She's pretty tall for how young she is. Just a freshman.
Yep.
Good serve. Right, skims right over the top of the net. Notre Dame sets it up, hits it back over. St. John digs it, tips it over, and Notre Dame's there to keep it alive. Sets it up, their middle, hits it over,
That's
and
a tip.
Rachel tips it, and it is out of bounds. So it's now 11-6.
It's a good snag by
Notre
Miss
Dame.
Kester.
Coach Bonnell walks into the building.
Our wrestling team this year is looking pretty stout. Lost a few good seniors like Austin Brewer, state medalist. And St. John gets the point for that volley. It is now 7-11.
Notre Dame with the lead. Taylor Matthews back to serve for St. John.
It is up. It's over. Serve receive for Notre Dame. They set it up. Spikes it over.
In the ceiling.
Oh, and it comes off. They play it very well. They hit it back over. Notre Dame to set it up here. Tips it over, and they do not get it over the net. It'll be St. John's point, 8-11. Taylor Matthews back to serve. It is up, and it is good. Serve receive for Notre Dame. They set it up. Hit it over. Tip by St. John. Haley keeps it alive. Ooh. And St. John cannot get it back over. So it is now 8-12. Notre
They
Dame.
hit it the wrong way.
They did. The ball went backwards, Luke.
Ball tizzed, go backwards.
Tis. Number 2 on Notre Dame back to serve.
Glad to hear from you, Gabe.
Hey, you know. I never have room to talk.
I'll give you some more mic time. Notre Dame hits it over. St. John with the serve receive. Sets it up. Julian McClellan with the spike, but is dug out there by Notre Dame. They bump it back over. Set up by St. John. And they tip it back over. Defense for Notre Dame sets it up. The middle. Ooh, good defense there by St. John to keep the ball alive.
Good play by Rachel Bowman.
Haley passes to the setter. The setter sets it up. And, ooh, sails it way out of bounds on that kill. It is now 8-13. Notre Dame. Serve receive for St. John. Taylor sets it. Julia sets it over and finds the
Look at that placement.
left line there
Good
of the
placement.
court and gets the point. 9-13.
Retweet.
Dope.
Dope. Hashtag retweet. As good as it gets.
It's as
Chloe.
good as it gets.
Untire.
Out.
Back
Yeah.
to
close
serve.
enough. Ooh.
Oh, close
Very,
one.
very smart play by Notre Dame.
That one might have hit the line, I think.
I think we could have. Never mind. Notre Dame with the ball. With the serve. It is up. It is good. Floats it over. Haley with the serve receive. Rachel bumps it back over.
Miscommunication.
And
but
Notre Dame hits into the net but kept alive. They set it back over. St. John's going to set it up here. Tip sets it over and finds the back line. Good job, Rachel. She saw those back line players playing up, so she went to the back.
do we
and
call that
found the-
planned or do we call that luck?
That was totally planned.
I agree.
They practiced that before, Luke.
Yep. Back to serve Haley Grass
It's
for
called
St. John.
It's a play. It's a play.
It's called volley.
Serve there
Ball.
by Haley. Notre Dame sets it up, hits it over. Haley digs it. Taylor sets it. Rachel hits it, and it's a point for St. John.
Good serve. A good spike.
Rachel really put some speed behind her spikes.
St. John only down 3. Hopefully can come back. Take the lead.
11-14 is the score. Haley hits it over. Good serve. Notre Dame's a barrel dig. Hits it over, but St. John keeps it alive. And they cannot get it back over. St. John, a little miscommunication there. It is now 15-11, Notre Dame. Notre Dame with the serve. It's up, and it's good. St. John with the serve receive. Rachel hits it over. Kept alive by Notre Dame. They hit it, and they find the left corner, and there's a point for Notre Dame.
Good hard spike by Notre Dame.
16-11 is your score in the second set. St. John down 5.
Number 24 back to serve for Notre Dame.
Yep.
Oh, Notre Dame's middle. We kind of set that one up for
Yeah,
her.
Rachel Bowman just sent it perfectly for a spike to Notre Dame.
She sent that one home.
Score update 17-11.
Good timeout by Coach Kester.
Well timed timeout.
St. John down 6. They need to get something going just to stay in this game and lead into the third set, hopefully, and take the win.
Again, we are sorry for the technical difficulties earlier. We could not figure out how to stream this live.
Our broadcaster teacher also skipped out on us, so we had to set this up ourselves.
Mr. Schweiss, that is you.
Shout out to Mr. Schweiss
We
for being
still love
we
him.
still love him, though.
an
He's a
iffy
good
teacher
guy.
and skipping out on his class.
Gotta love the guy.
Gotta love him. He is here tonight. He showed up.
He's
So
over there
if
with
you have
his
any questions,
cute
he'll-
little kids.
Yep. He is evaluating, so if you guys could give him a thumbs up or something on this broadcast, we'd greatly appreciate it.
And we have blacked out.
I'm not sure what happened.
Let's give a good shout out to Gabe Grimminger
On the
for
video
blocking
camera.
out the camera. Way to go. We'll just have to give you play-by-play.
Yeah.
It's dead.
St. John hits it back over. It's 11-18 still.
11-18.
And Notre Dame gets the point. It is now 19-11.
Good spike.
The middle for Notre Dame hit it over, but tipped by St. John and is tipped out of bounds. Looks like our camera died on us, so we were going to have to
Just have to go the old days.
just
and
going to have to go old school.
radio
and
talk.
Listen to it. Can't watch it.
Number 24 back to serve for Notre Dame. Good serve.
Hits it over. Serve received by St. John. Ooh. And Julian McClin hits it over. Got to get it out the
Notre
net.
Dame to spike and
Into
spikes
the
it straight
net.
down. So St. John gets the point.
12 to Oh, and we are back on. Good job, Gabe.
And we are zoomed in.
You have to zoom out. It's the thing on top.
And we're zoomed in now on nothing.
There, good job, Gabe.
There we are. We're
We
back
are
on the air.
back.
Let's adjust the score here.
20-12.
Adjust the score here. The score here is 2012. Notre Dame.
Sorry there, folks. We did not realize our camera was not plugged in.
Number 6 back to serve for Notre Dame.
It was
Hits it
plugged
back
in. It
over.
was plugged in. Technical difficulties.
We are sorry once again. Not a good night for us.
J.D. Grimminger with a good serve. Sends it right over.
Notre Dame hits it and finds that left back corner and puts the score up 21-12. Looks like St. John's going to have a good comeback here to take the second set into 3. Notre Dame sends it over. It is good. Good serve received by Jada Grimminger. Rachel Bowman hits. Oh, it is blocked, but out of bounds, so that'll be St. John's ball. 21-13.
St. John really needs a good roll here.
Rachel Bowman back to serve for St. John.
Good serve.
Hits it over. Notre
Notre
Dame
Dame
sets it up. In the middle hits
turn.
it. Good serve receive there.
Boom.
Ooh,
Oh.
out of bounds. Almost hit our sideline teacher there.
Line judge.
Joshua Banks.
Joshua, Mr. Banks, Coach
Mr.
Banks.
Mr. Banks, Coach
We
Banks.
refer to him as.
He is also the head coach of the girls basketball team this year.
They should be pretty. They should be
Solid,
pretty good this
pretty
year.
Solid.
Got
I
our.
don't know. We got they're put in a new district.
They are, as are our boys teams too. So we're in the big district with all the big schools
Oh.
like Cape Central and Jackson, Sykeston, all those big schools down south. So we're gonna have a tough district this year. But we did get a district championship last year.
First one ever.
First one ever, so that was awesome to have. And we graduated a couple of seniors: Morgan Shank, Nathan McClin, Zach Rhodes,
Anthony.
and Anthony. Anthony started playing halfway through the season because of his ACL.
J.D. Grimminger with the serve sends it straight over.
Game over.
Game over.
And
Notre Dame takes
Notre
this one
Dame
home.
takes the win here
Just-
tonight.
Just seems like Notre Dame didn't make many mistakes, and
St. John had a lot of
they just
communication errors
yeah.
tonight.
and Notre Dame just capitalized on the mistakes made.
It was a good game overall. Thank you guys for tuning in, and
See you next time.
we will have some people broadcasting the varsity game tonight. Thank you, and see you later.
Can they hear me breathing?
I'm Troy Johnson here with Adria Mueller for tonight's volleyball game here at Peggy J. Johnson Gymnasium. It is the St. John. Can you hear me now? Okay, there we go. I'm Troy Johnson here with Adria Mueller for tonight's volleyball game at Peggy J. Johnson's Gymnasium. It's St. John Dragons against Cape Notre Dame Bulldogs. Adria, how do you think this game's going to go?
I think it's going to be a very close one, actually. I heard Cape is a very strong and dedicated team, and I know the St. John Dragons are as well.
Definitely. You know, they played this past weekend. They split in 2 sets at the tournament. But we have a little interview here with Madison Rainey, a cross-country runner. Madison, your first race coming up this Saturday at Forest Park, what are your expectations for that race as a team?
I think our expectations are just to do the best that we can. We're not going to say like any places that we want to accomplish, but we just want to do the best that we can as a team and meet all of our goals.
What has, with the loss of 6 seniors and some pretty significant seniors at that last year, with Taylor Warner, Maya German, and Mallory Kohler, leaving to go on to college, what has been, and Coach Jett, what has been different about the team this year compared to last year?
Well, we definitely have a younger team. There are only 2 juniors. Not much has really changed. Coach Boyd has kept the program pretty much the same, with a few exceptions. We are just trying to kind of adapt to the new situation, and it's been a learning experience, but we're getting used to it.
Has there been any, rough patches, or how did you guys as a team in the offseason work hard and get better as a team?
Oh, goodness. We don't really stop our season. When track ends, cross-country training begins. So we're coming in every day. We're lifting, doing yoga. We're doing what we can to make ourselves better.
What is your favorite thing to do at practice?
Well, I think just bond as a team and,
Bond as a team.
I don't know.
All right, thanks, Madison.
No problem.
All right, and we are back here at the gym, and and St. John's coming off of a tournament this past weekend. They went 2-1-2. They split with Notre Dame. Actually, it is. They are coming off a tournament. The record on the year so far is 5-2-2, with losses to Windsor and Lindbergh in the tournament. Losses to Lindbergh and Windsor so far this year. Otherwise, no losses with 2 splits. They split with Perryville and Cape Notre Dame. A very experienced squad this year for the Dragons. They have quite a few seniors this year, along with juniors, a lot of upperclassmen on the roster.
And they also play DeSoto tomorrow night, which will also be a great game to come and watch.
Yeah, here at Peggy J. Johnson Gymnasium again. Tomorrow it is a Dragons versus Dragons matchup, St. John against DeSoto. It will definitely be a good game to watch, so come on out. A little recap from, the past few days here at St. John Sports. Friday, football, Hillsborough, with the loss to Hillsborough at Hillsborough, it was I personally did not go to the game, but from what I've heard, it was not what everyone expected to be, with the St. John versus Hillsborough game. Adria, what were your thoughts on the game?
I was very shocked, but the guys looked like they came out strong and ready to play. Just a few errors and caused them the game.
Yeah, Adria, you as a softball player switching sports here, you guys had a game today against Park Hill Central. How did that one go?
It actually went really well. We started off playing really well in the first inning, and up until the 7th inning it was 4-1, and then they came out and hit some more, and it ended up being only 7-1. So that was a very good turnout for us.
Yeah, you guys have a really busy week this week. Games today, tomorrow, Thursday, and then a tournament Friday and Saturday. What are your thoughts on having such a busy week this week?
I think it's actually going to help us a lot because if we keep having games every day, it's going to make us progress more in the season, and we're going to want to play. We're going to be ready to play more throughout the week, and we're expecting to hopefully get some wins this week.
Yeah, definitely. Switching sports here again to women's golf. The golf team actually had their first win at a tournament last week. They finished first out of 6 teams, and Madison DeRouche, I believe, finished first out of all the women in the tournament. You know, very, very good turnout for them in that tournament. Homecoming is coming up for St. John as well. That is September 23rd and 24th, the 23rd being the game and the 24th being the dance. Adria, it's your senior year. Are you a little melancholy about homecoming this year?
I'm actually really excited for it. I'm ready to dance and get down, and especially the football game.
You heard it here first. Adria Mueller is ready to dance and get down at homecoming. They announced homecoming court about a week and a half ago, and there was quite a few people on it. You know, a lot of seniors, as you would imagine, but I believe the freshman representative was Jada Grimminger. The sophomore representative was Lexi Martin. And then the junior was actually a girl playing tonight, Avery Reed, as I believe we are going to stand up for the national anthem here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Peggy J. Johnson Gymnasium for this varsity contest between Cape Notre Dame's Lady Bulldogs and your hometown St. Genevieve Dragons. At this time, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps in preparation for the national anthem, performed tonight by members of the St. Genevieve High School Choir, Becca Gons, Haley Wolf, and Braden Wise.
And we are back following the national anthem as teams will take their spot on the court after a little pep talk from coaches.
Now the starting lineups first for Notre Dame.
Starting lineups tonight for Notre Dame. Number 22, Brooke Blankenship. Number 16, Lexi Walter. Number 5, Hannah Landaway. Number 10, Sam Brennan. Number 2, Maddie McClintock. And number 50, Allison Jansen. And the libero, number 1, Mariana Bello. And your starting lineups for your St. Genevieve Dragons tonight. Number 14, Drew Lamandier. Number 22, Courtney Dunsey. Number 3, Madison Reynolds. Number 34, Sam Baumgartner. Number 16, Avery Reed. And number 1, Jennifer Humboldt. And man in the libero tonight will be number 12, Darren Brown. Once again, a pretty big game here for St. John. You know, Cape Notre Dame not too far away. Not really a rival, but it'll be a good game to watch. Like I said, they split in their tournament this past weekend. They are They really want to win this game after splitting 2 sets with them at the tournament this past weekend. School is now in full swing as we head into what, Adria, our 3rd or 4th week of school?
I think it's our 3rd.
3rd. You know, school. Fun. Fun. New class this year, sports broadcasting. Both I and Adria are both a part in. What have your thoughts been on sports broadcasting so far this year?
I think it's really been good to actually be able to do something like this for our school. If people want to go into it in their future careers, I think it's really helpful.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I know a lot of people personally that want to go into broadcasting or want to go into a radio or journalism, and I think this class has really been beneficial towards making strides towards that. Some players to watch tonight for St. John. You got number 3, a senior, Madison Reynolds. She is going to be on the outside most of the time when she's in the front row. You know, a big hitter. She leads the team and kills a set. Another player to watch is number 22, Courtney Dunsey. She will be in the middle tonight, your middle blocker. She leads the team in blocks per set. And finally, number 14, a junior, the setter, Drew Lomandier. She leads the team in assists per set. Freshman and JV both played earlier today. JV lost in 2 sets. Adria, do you know what freshmen did?
I'm not sure.
Well, they either won or lost. Let's put it that way. So St. John looking for a win here tonight as the libero Darren Brown will come in for Avery Reed. Coach Jessica Hess looks pretty fired up. She wants this win against Cape Notre Dame. Be a big win. Cape Notre Dame is a good team. They are ranked pretty high up in the state. Not number 1, but maybe not even number 2, but you know, they are definitely up there. The set outside to Reynolds. First swing will be out as Cape Notre Dame will take a 1-0 lead. And serve back, that will be number 22 for the Bulldogs. Gets it over to Brown, to Lomandier, the middle. Courtney Dunsey, number 5 for the Bulldogs, was in the net. Number 5, that is someone there. Oh, wait, maybe? No? There we go. Handa Londaway, a junior, playing in the middle. She sends a free ball over to Humboldt. The set to Lomandier, jump set. Dunsey with the spike. Straight down in the back row, tried to get to it. They just could not get there quick enough. As Drew will go back to serve. Last game I broadcasted, she was wearing cornrows. Not tonight, though. The serve gets it over. Cape Notre Dame out of rotation. That is a point for St. John. St. John takes a 3-1 lead. Drew back to serve again. She's way back there. She gets a little running start and then kind of hops her way up to the line. That is in. Some miscommunication on the Bulldogs' part. You know, they look a little rusty coming out of the gate, don't they, Adria?
Yes, they do. Drew is very consistent with her serves, too, every time.
Yeah, every time she's getting the ball over or doing something. The serve. In the set, number 10. That is a block, a joint block by Courtney Dunsey and Sam Bumgarner. Like I said, Courtney leads the team in blocks a set, and you see right there, Exhibit A. Drew back to serve again. St. John with a 5-1 lead. They look fired up to win this game tonight. Drew with the serve. To the outside, number 10. Oh, off of Humboldt's fingers, and that will skip out of bounds as the Bulldogs will jump back up on the scoreboard. 5-2 now as number 16. That is Lexi Welter, a junior, going back to serve. A block. Reynolds, no. Set to number 5. That's playable. And a free ball sent over by Dunsey. Trying to pin it deep. But the Bulldogs sniffed it out to back row 10. Yes, good play by Drew. That's the advantage of running a 6-2 offense. You know, you have a setter in the back row and in the front row, so you don't only have one option to set. And a swing, oh, number 1. That is Mariana Bello there for the dig. And the Bulldogs will get this point. 5-3 now.
Bumgarner had a great save against that block.
Yeah, the Dragons are really hustling out there tonight.
Yes, they are.
like we said, another game tomorrow against DeSoto. The Dragons have been busy these past couple weeks, you know, with like 5 or 6 games, I think, last week, Adria, and then at least 2 again this week.
Yeah.
As that one is hit into the net by the Bulldogs, 6-3 now, Dragons. As Avery Reed comes in for libero. That's Darren, not Drew. 22, Courtney Dunsey back to serve, gets it over, pins it deep. Out to number 10. Oh, what a swing. Courtney got nailed right in the chest. It looks like there. A beautiful cross-court swing by number 10, Sam Brennan, a senior. Now Brown will come back in for Dunsey. And number 1, Mariana Bello back to serve. She's libero tonight. She's left-handed. Reynolds gets there, won't let the ball drop. Out to Reed, tipped. Lady Bulldogs get a hand on it. Free ball sent over. Never mind, not sent over. And the net. 7-3. You see Adria's dancing here.
Not bad.
Reynolds with the serve. Out to number 50. Oh, what a dig by Brown. She was right there. Didn't have to move much, but it's very hard. That is a tip, yes. And that will be the Dragons' point. They are now up 8-3. You got to be wondering for the Bulldogs here, are you a little concerned about your team if you're the head coach? Never mind, it's 8-4. I missed the point. Whoops. Reynolds back to serve again. Puts a little spin on it. Libero there. To the right side. Lamondier with a beautiful pass to Bumgarner. They're going to set a pipe. Oh, right down the middle. That's a good idea. That is out. Dragons will take a 9-4 lead. Lots of errors so far in this game. Not as much for St. John as for Cape Notre Dame. You know, I think they have like 2 or 3 hitting errors already.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dragons defense looks great tonight.
Yeah, you know, Darren's kind of running all over the court, man in the libero spot. This little roll shot hit over by Reynolds. Low pass. Not much you can do about that if you're Drew. That'll be called on a double hit, and Cape Notre Dame takes point. 9-5 as a substitution comes in. That is number 3, Shelby Bowens, for number 22, Brooke Blankenship, both juniors. Reed, oh, a beautiful two-handed tip. 10-5 Dragons now.
Avery always knows how to tip them right over.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing back row and you get a double block up like that in the middle, it's definitely hard to see over that block.
Definitely.
Sam with the serve to the libero. They're serving right at that libero on a slide. Oh, it looks like it would have been out if Reynolds didn't touch it, but the Dragons get it back in play. Out to number 50 is touch. Oh, Reynolds gets it up, but number 8, Allie Grass, called into the net. 10-6 Dragons as number 2, Maddie McClintock, a senior, is back to serve. She's left-handed as well. Looks like Cape has a lot of lefties here. I have a lefty here with me too. Adria, you're left-handed.
Yes, I am.
Sort of. Grass with the kill, yes. On a little overpass, Allie Grass with the kill. As now Courtney Dunsey will come back in for Darren Brown, and it looks like Avery Reed will be back to serve. You know, you got to be wondering if you're Avery, do I want to serve it to the libero here, you know, or not? Oh, that's exactly what she does. A little bit of a shanked pass out to number 16. Roll shot, that will go out. 12-6 Dragons here. And that was another hitting error for Cape Notre Dame. Lady Bulldogs are not looking too sharp so far. Oh, nice serve by Reed. To the right side. What a block. That is out. That is another joint block with Dunsey and Humboldt. And the Lady Bulldogs will take their first time out of the set, and the score is 13-6, St. John. Adria, what are your thoughts on the game so far?
I think St. John really came out to play tonight. They're ready to beat them and get their revenge from their split set this weekend.
Yeah, like we said, the Dragons went 2-1-2 in the tournament this past weekend. Brings their season record to 5-2-2. Looks like they're around a third of the way done with this season so far. A lot of home games so far this year. I think this is like their 3rd or 4th home game already. You got to, in high school, it's not always equal with your home and away games. So you got to be wondering if the Dragons, when's that big stretch of away games going to hit for you, if there is one. You got to imagine if you're the Lady Bulldogs coach, you got to be telling them, you know, we got to limit our mistakes here. You know, it could be a lot closer of a game, maybe even a 9-10 game. You know, we just got to limit our mistakes and be the team that we know we can be. Oh, another kill. I don't know if that was Humboldt or Dunsey. We'll say it was both. 14-6 Dragons. And as soon as I'm talking about the errors for the Lady Bulldogs, they commit another one. That is you know, just a little overpass. You can't really do that against a good hitting team like the Dragons. Out to number 16. It's touched, but Reynolds is right there. Baumgartner with the set. Tight to the net. That is blocked. But Humboldt, a replay is called. Thought they were going to call Humboldt in the net as the down ref made a mistake on that play. When you're down reffing, you know, it's really hard because you got to be watching both sides and you got to be looking at your main ref too. It is very easy to make mistakes, but that's all right. No one's judging her. It's touched. Reynolds right there again. Baumgartner has to run a little out to Humboldt. Oh, what a block, but what a dig by Reed. They're going to call someone on a double. It's now 14-7. And a substitution, number 24, coming in for number 50. That is Taylor Allen coming in for Allison Jansen.
Their defense against those blocks are on fire tonight.
Yeah, they were really covering the net well, Adria. This is a pass by Brown. That is a very good pass. Out to Dunsey. It goes right through the block. Did not penetrate the net quite enough to get the block there. And now it'll be Humboldt back to serve. The Dragons are really, you know, they came out hot tonight. And it looks like a substitution there was made. It looks like Drew Lomandier for Alley Grass, maybe. Humboldt back to serve and serve. A lot of topspin on it. You know, on a topspin serve like that, all you got to do is stick your arms out, and that ball will pop right up. Over to Lomandier, out to Reynolds. Blocked. Brown is right there. That's what Adria was talking about, covering the net. And a swing that is in for the Dragons. 16-7 now. Reynolds with her second or third kill of the night. One ace so far. I don't know who it was, but I know there was one.
It was Drew.
It was Drew?
Yes.
You know, the Lady Dragons in a tip. Reynolds is there. The Lady Bulldogs. Lomandier with the kill. You know, you don't see your other setter, you know, killing the ball too much, but she got the opportunity there on the 9 ball, and she put it down. 17-7 Dragons. You know, talking to some of the players at school, they feel like they could have done a lot better at the tournament this weekend. You know, with the loss to Lindbergh, you know, they said they could have beat them. You know, they didn't come out to play their best. It was one of their first games, and, you know, they came out a little shaky. But right there, you see the ace by Humboldt. She goes back to serve again, 18-7 Dragons. And tip, two-handed tip over to Reynolds. Baumgartner to Dunsey, hits the ceiling, bounces back. Free ball sent over, just gets inside the antenna. The ball's still in play. Outside to Reynolds, blocked, and that is off of Reynolds. 18-8 now. Looks like some confusion there. Maybe a warning given to the Lady Bulldogs. Maybe for some language. It looks like number 16, Lexi Welter. You know, maybe a little aggravation with the score. Maybe just let one slip. Brown with a good pass. To Humboldt, tipped and out of bounds. The Dragons are looking to put this one away quick. It is 19-8. They've opened up an 11-point lead on the Lady Bulldogs. And a substitution here is made. Number 4, Lauren Boswell coming in for number 3, I believe. Shelby Bowens, something like that. Over to Drew. Libero, you know, she has not made too many mistakes tonight. A bright spot for the Lady Bulldogs. Over to Reynolds on the 3. Oh, what a block. That is number 16, Lexi Welter, with her second or third block of the game. That is one thing. Another thing that's been a bright spot for so far both teams is the blocking and covering the net. You know, very well on both sides. Not minus the hitting errors. This has been a very well played game. Over to Brown. Good pass. Over to Baumgartner, the tip. Welter is right there. Over to number 2. Didn't see who hit that. Oh, what a spot by Reynolds. A little line shot. Just read the defense. No one was there. 20-9 now, Dragons. As Reed will come in for Brown. And Courtney Dunsey will be back to serve. It was very rare to see a libero that doesn't serve, but for St. John, both of their middles do serve. You know, usually your libero is your best defensive player. Very odd not to see one serve. As right there, that will be a point for the Lady Bulldogs off a tip. Just read that back corner, no one was there. It looks like Dunsey tried to get to it, but couldn't. Wasn't quite tall enough, and then Humboldt running back to get it. Could not get there in time. So number 1, Mariana Below will serve. Over to Brown. Sends that one to the outside. Reed. Oh, a good shot. A little bit of a joust at the net. Over to Baumgartner. Blocked again for the Lady Bulldogs, 20-11. Blocking has been very good for the Bulldogs tonight. I haven't read much up about them, but from what I've seen so far, they are a very good defensive team. Wouldn't you agree, Adria?
Yes, I would. And Avery had a good dig on that. It just looked like she was at the wrong angle for it.
Yeah. You know, it's really tough with some of these hitters. Just hitting the ball so hard. Over to Reynolds off a little, looks like a 6. A little bit low. Over to Reynolds again. Blocked again. That is number 2, the setter, Maddie McClintock.
They were not ready for that one.
No, they were not ready for that. It almost looked like McClintock swung her arms at it. Maybe could have been called a throw. But instead it is a point for the Bulldogs. Brown pops it straight up. Reed with the help. Free ball sent over by Reynolds. Libero number 1, Mariana Below is there. That is tipped by Reynolds.
Looks like Cape's coming back quickly.
Yeah, they have really turned it on here. I believe 4 or 5 straight points here. Is number 1, Mariana Below. The libero will go back to serve again. Lefty, Cape has a good mixture of lefty and righties. You know, when you get used to seeing a right-handed server like St. John has not many left-handed servers they've seen so far this year, as Coach Jessica Hess will use her first time out as Cape mounts a little bit of a comeback here, 20-14 now for the Dragons. You know, if you're Coach Hess, you got to be telling them, you know, ladies, we just got to push for 5 here. It's just a race to 5. 5 points away from putting away the set. Let's do this here. Let's do this now. And if you're Cape, you know, you're telling your girls, you know, this is good. This is what I wanted to see. You know, not as many hitting errors, being big at the net, blocking, covering the net, just getting the ball over. Doesn't matter how. Adria, who all do you guys play this week for softball?
Today we played Park Hill Central. Tomorrow we play Festus. Thursday we go to Farmington and play them. And then Friday and Saturday is our St. Pius tournament. And I'm not really sure who we verse, but I know we play at 4 o'clock on Friday and then 9 and 1 o'clock on Saturday.
All right, you heard it here. Come out to see St. Jen Lady Dragons softball play today. As a serve back to Reynolds, tight to the net. Over to Reed, blocked again. Number 2, the setter, Maddie McClintock, has had a very good past few points. You know, she has been on fire pretty much this whole set with her sets and her blocking. Very good for the Lady Bulldogs. This is what they need. Over to Reynolds.
Pumped.
Oh, she overran it a little bit. 2, Brown is there. What a dig. Over to Reynolds.
Looks like Drew was in the net.
Number 14, that is Drew Lomdier. Yes, she was in the net. 20-16 now. St. John, they look a little flustered. This is the first time pretty much all year I've seen them get like this. Very composed, old team. You know, a couple of the girls blocked again, but that will be out. As St. John, that is what they needed. They needed a blocking error for the Lady Bulldogs. You know, this might put a little damper on their blocking ability. This number 3, Madison Reynolds, will go back to serve. A serve. Oh, what a swing there. That was number 10, Sam Brennan, a senior. Speaking of old teams, it looks like the Lady Bulldogs have one as well. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 seniors on their team, and the rest of them are juniors, and then 2 freshmen that are on the regular season roster but not for tournaments. As there was a substitution made for the Lady Bulldogs. I didn't see who it was. Over to Reed. Yes. It looks like it went off a few fingers there, but it doesn't matter how it drops as long as it does. 22-17 now for the Dragons. The substitution made Allie Grass in for Drew Lomandier. You know, a substitution they didn't make in too many of their early games, but it looks like Allie has worked her way into the rotation here. There's now Sam was back to serve. That was a good serve. Number 3, Brown with the dig. What a dig. Oh, and then should have just sent a free ball over on that one. Not a smart choice by
Humboldt.
By Humboldt. You know, just sending a free ball over with this being as tight as the game as it is now. 22-18 is a race to 3 for the Dragons here. And a questionable timeout was called. We don't know.
And it looks like it was a point for the Dragons.
Maybe out of rotation. I don't know, Adria. So 23-17, I guess now. As Reed will go back to serve, maybe 23-18. Not too sure. The scorekeepers are talking to the down ref, and now the down ref will head over to the main ref to discuss what just happened. I did not see what happened.
I'm quite confused.
as am I. It looks like everyone on the court looks pretty confused too. It looked like Cape Notre Dame tried to call a timeout, you know, a questionable timeout, to say the least. You know, her team was on a run. I don't know why you'd call a timeout. But now it looks like a little player's timeout here for St. John as they will gather in the middle of the court, you know, try to get their minds back together as one.
And it looks like Cape Notre Dame was out of rotation.
Yeah, it looks like that's what it was. So now the coach. That's one thing in volleyball. The coaches cannot talk directly to the main ref. You have your captain on the floor. You have to relay your information through the captain. So usually the captain is the one that gets yelled at, just, you know, assaulting the messenger pretty much. It's fun to be a captain, to be there for your team, but when something happens in the game, you definitely do not want to be a captain. You know, you're trying to listen to your coach and relay it back to the ref. It's just not something fun to do. It looked like Cape Notre Dame tried to send a manager up to the score table. It looks like both refs are ready now on the down route. It looks like Cape Notre Dame's coach is not too happy. Swing, what a swing, right down the middle. Over to Humboldt. Oh, played up by the libero. Over to the setter, out to the outside, number 23. A little roll shot over. Reed, a middle playing back row. Not too common. On another partial block, it looked like, by Cape Notre Dame. The libero will now get a chance to hit. That was out. So there's now a set point for the Dragons, 24 to. Adria, should that be 17 or 18? I thought it should have been 17.
Yeah, I think it should have been 17, but I'm not really sure.
It's a set point either way. That's a good diving play by the libero there. Reed again playing back row.
Looks like they're going to set it up.
To grass. Oh, that is tight to the net. Yes, and St. John will put it away. That is set number one. St. John wins the first one, 25 to 17 or 18. We are not too sure. We just know that St. John won. So now we will head to the second set. St. John just needing to win this one to put it all away. Like we said, homecoming coming up September 23rd and 24th. A lot of students excited for it. A lot of teachers excited for it. Got to imagine the outside community. You know, St. John's a small town. You know, a lot of people that live here still went to St. John High School or Valley. You got to imagine a lot of people will be here for homecoming, especially the homecoming football game.
Troy, isn't this your first homecoming at St. John?
It will be. It will be my first homecoming at St. John. I was here for a little bit last year. It was about late November to about early February, but I was not here during homecoming. And it looks like we have an announcement here by Addie Stiegel. This little donation, I believe it was project graduation.
For the 50-50.
I thought she was going to say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Started 4, 5, 6. I was like, no way. That would have been pretty cool.
Is that one of the coaches?
Maybe the ref.
Whoever it was, he knew the up ref.
And it does not look like one of the coaches, but I believe he's from Cape Notre Dame.
Looks like it.
But yeah, this is my first homecoming this year. I'm not really sure what to expect. You know, the homecoming spirit days, they look pretty fun, and I'm pumped for it. Definitely going to be a new experience for me. The football Dragons this week, they will play Fredericktown?
Yes, Fredericktown Friday night at 7 o'clock at home.
At home. This is the first home game for Dragons in 2 weeks. They're coming off 2 losses at Valley and at Hillsboro. Both were not close losses, to say the least. The team definitely had some kinks to work out the past few weeks in practice. Hopefully they can get back on their winning ways this Friday.
And speaking of homecoming, we have the Spirit Night on the Wednesday before homecoming, so it'll be the 21st. And the Spirit Night starts at 7 o'clock, followed by the Powder Puff game, which is 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And to find out more information, you can go to the St. John alumni page on Facebook, and all the updates are on the page.
You heard it here. If you want more information, listen to Adria Mueller. Go to the St. John alumni page on Facebook. And now this will kick off the second set. Serving first, it will be Jennifer Humboldt for the Dragons. And the serve, it is over. Over to the libero. Out to the setter, to the outside, number 16. Humboldt's there. Great pass out to Reynolds. Yes.
Nice. Right down the line, it looked like Cape Notre Dame was not ready for that one.
Yeah, a lot of line shots here for the Dragons. A shanked pass. Oh, the setter gets there. I did not think she was going to get there. Out to number 5. Sends a free ball over. Over to Humboldt. To Dunsey. No. The tip did not work that time. Tip. Humboldt gets there. Out to Bumgarner. Out to Reynolds. That is out.
The setter on Cape Notre Dame is fantastic.
Yeah, she is really hustling and blocking. She is a very good all-around player, to say the least. Served by number 3, Shelby Bowens. To Lamadier, over to Dunsey, off the setter, over to number 16. 16 has been a big factor for the Lady Dragons tonight.
She has. She can hit like no other.
Yeah, she's had, a couple kills, a couple blocks.
Here goes a tip from her.
Could read that one from a mile away. The pipe, oh, is a good idea. St. John looks like they are incorporating that in their offense. And a touch. Oh. I did not agree with that one.
Me either.
I did not think there was a touch, but Cape Notre Dame will take the point. Number 3, Shelby Bowens back to serve again. The serve is over. Oh, it looks like it hit Brown right in the neck.
Looks like it would have been out if she wouldn't have touched it.
Yeah, but, it's really hard to judge when you're back there. Oh,
yeah.
A block. That is out. So 2-2 now. Dragons and Bulldogs tied here in the second set as a substitution. Number 22, Brooke Blankenship, coming in for number 3, Shelby Bowens. And she will go straight to the back row. Lamadier back to serve. No cornrows tonight, like I said earlier. Oh, what a swing. Looked like that. She was going straight line on that. And not much you can do if you're Lamadier there. You're pretty close up to the net, and with a ball that was just smoked like that, and just throw your hands up and pray it hits them. Over to Lamadier. Out to Bumgarner. Swing again. That is in, beautifully placed by Cape Notre Dame. And the way Cape Notre Dame has played it, we might be going to a third one, Adria, a third set.
Looks like it might be. Hopefully the Dragons can pull out just like they did last set and come out with a win.
Yeah, hopefully that's really what we're all hoping for here. Like we said, the Dragons play DeSoto tomorrow at home. And another out. 5-2 now for the Dragons. Or for the Bulldogs, I should say. Number 16, Lexi Welter back to serve. Or to Lamadier. Out to Reynolds. Partially blocked, but the ball is played up. A tip. Humboldt back there to receive it. Out to Reynolds again. She puts that one down. That is exactly what the Dragons need, is a big kill like that. That is her 3rd or 4th kill on the night. Lots of kills for Madison Reynolds. As Avery Reed will come in for Darren Brown here. Courtney Dunsey back to serve. The serve barely makes it over the tape. And a joust. Oh, and a good play by there by Drew Lamadier, but just tipped the ball out. Very tough on the line. And some more confusion here. Some questionable calls here by the line judge. He wants something. You'd think he'd be a little nicer towards St. John. But I guess not, as Cape Notre Dame will go serve. Number 1, the libero, that is Mariana Bello. Over to Lamadier, over to Reynolds. The ball is in. Not the most impressive dig, but she got it up. Over to Bumgarner, the tip. Trying to go to that deep right corner. Tip, will not make it over the net. It is now 6-4 for the Lady Bulldogs, in control of the second set so far. And you can hear Coach Jessica Hess yelling out to her team, we got to be aggressive, we got to hit, no more tips. Oh, and that one just floated for Madison. Not one to miss her serves too often. So that came as a little bit of a surprise to probably her and her team. As number 3 for the Lady Bulldogs, Shelby Bowens will come in for number 22, Brooke Blankenship.
Sam saves that one.
Yeah, the ball barely hit in a slide. Touched, it's up. And a little roll shot by Reed. And to the outside, another roll. Over to Lamandir, over to Reed. Oh, lucky she wasn't called for a double. Now the setter will hit. It is in. No one was home for the Dragons. You know, very confused. They forgot that setter was in the front row. She can hit. She will go back to serve now. She was in the front right. Now she's in the back right. And she's left-handed, so being out there on the right side, that really helps her get that angle on that ball. You know, in volleyball, you see a lot of outsides are right-handed, and a lot of right sides are left-handed. That ball's hit out.
They've had at least 3 out.
Yeah, it looks like the Dragons and Bulldogs have switched places pretty much from the first set. It is 9-4 now. And the down ref again talking to the scorekeeper. Coach Hess is now talking to Drew.
Looks like there's a little confusion with the lineup again.
Yeah, the lineup and or the score. And now the St. John players will get together and, you know, talk about their game plan here. You know, what all the hitters want to run, what the setters want to do, what defense they might be running, or even if they're going to run a tandem or not here. Down 8-4, you got to imagine they're just trying to get the ball in play, Adria.
Yeah, it looks like they're just trying to calm down right now from the score.
Yeah, and you know they got to be getting aggravated with this line judge. A couple questionable calls this set. You know, as a player myself, it gets pretty aggravating when you think a ball is in, but the line judge says different. And you know the ref has to agree with the line judge unless it's blatantly out or in. But you know, usually with what the line judge says goes. It can get very frustrating. And it's not like you can say anything to him either, because you'll get a yellow card or maybe even a red card.
Exactly.
And the bench looks like they're keeping spirits up.
All smiles for St. John Dragons.
Oh, yeah. Even when we're losing, we're smiling. That is definitely one thing that keeps player morale up on the bench. You know, you have the people, you know, on every team you have people that don't play too often, and, you know, they are going to, you know, as a teammate, as part of the team, you know, you just got to be there for your team and keep spirits up, because, you know, your time will come eventually. But, you know, definitely those players, you know, that keep player morale up, you know, always cracking jokes on the bench, you know, talking to everyone, you know, making sure everyone's head is screwed on right. You know, those are basically the MVP of the team. They might not play too much, but, you know, they keep everyone together as a team. It's like glue almost.
Mm-hmm.
Still some confusion going on here.
Who knows what's going on?
I don't even know where the down ref went. She's talking to the main ref. Cape Notre Dame's coach talking to her players. It'll be St. John's point.
Out of rotation again.
And the captains from both teams will go up to talk to the down ref. You know, maybe a verbal issue being warned. Verbal issue being warned. That's what I just said. Verbal warning being issued.
I was going to say, what does that even mean?
Verbal warning. It's hard to talk sometimes. English is hard.
Very.
Can be.
So Spanish.
Yeah. Pretty much all language is hard. If it was up to me, I'd just sit here and be quiet.
Same. It looks like
4 to
there's
8.
still confusion with the Cape Notre Dame's coach. She does not look very happy.
No, she is, you know, a couple more words out of her, and I got to imagine she's going to get a yellow card. That is definitely not something you want as a coach, because that will definitely bring your players down. You know, in my playing career, I've only seen one yellow card issued, and it was against one of my teammates. You know, he just kind of, after a bad call, he just let one slip. You know, that happens every now and then. But as a coach, you know, you really got to be a role model for your players and be a leader for your players.
Even though you might be frustrated, you just got to keep it all in.
Yeah, I mean, a good team is always centered around a good coach. And, you know, got to be there for your players. And I don't even know what the score is. It looks like no one else does either. The scoreboard says 7-4, so that's what I'm going to put ours as. The Spirit crowd, not too big for St. John tonight. A lot going on. You know, I've heard a lot of tests are tomorrow. I myself have, I think, 1 or 2. Do you have any tests tomorrow, Adria?
No, I don't, but I do have a lot of homework.
Yeah, same. I just kind of went home and slept. I was like, homework can wait.
That 4-day weekend was nice, though, with Labor Day.
Yeah, I had a 6-day weekend myself, actually. Well, 6.5 days. I was sick. Being sick is never fun. You know, allergy season's starting to kick in. Go get your flu shots.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not now. Maybe you can wait a little bit. You don't want to be spreading that stuff.
Yeah.
Still confusion going on here, and we have not seen a point played in probably 5 minutes now. As the scoreboard now says 7-5.
It looks like it might be getting cleared up. Maybe, maybe not. But looks like
She
the
just sent that coach away.
Yeah.
She's like, you need to go, hun. Coach was like, okay.
I'll walk.
Yeah. I'll be here for my team. I see you, ref. Now Coach Hess will walk away as well. And there is more confusion going on at the score table.
I think I just lost 10 minutes of sleep.
I think I did too. But, you know, high school students, who need sleep, right?
Oh, yeah. That's what some say.
My mom's always telling me I need 8 hours of sleep a night. Yeah, right, Mom. I'm lucky if I get 6.
My mom always tells me to get off my phone when I'm in bed.
Yeah. Well, luckily my mom works nights, so she doesn't tell me to get off my phone because she's not home.
Looks like St. Jude. Did St. Jude know where they were? Yeah, it looks like they knew where they were at already.
It's almost comical at this point, you know. You see Coach Hess kind of just screaming out some things.
Yeah.
And looks like we will resume play finally here. As we get everything sorted out, and a big applause from the crowd as Sam Baumgartner back to serve. She gets to serve over. Oh, the ball is where's it at?
It's stuck.
That's going to be called a replay. The ball gets stuck.
Great play by Madison Reynolds.
That takes some talent right there. St. Jen's Gym, I've never seen a ball get stuck up here before.
Right above the light.
I thought it was going to go in the basket at first, but the ball was like, nah, fam, I'm going to go in the light.
And gets stuck. Great play by Darren.
Yeah. Over to Humboldt.
And it looks like Cape Notre Dame was in the net, number 3.
Ball doesn't lie. Spirit crowd starting to grow for a little bit for St. John. I see some football players down there. I see Trevor Drury, a fellow broadcaster down there. He usually does football games. He's done maybe a couple volleyball games. But that point right there will be for Cape Notre Dame. Like we said, go ahead.
It looks like Madison Reynolds tried to get to it, but it just stopped in front of her.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky. Oh, a beautiful float serve. Looked like that one had a lot of movement. Definitely hard to pick that one up. It's a little roll shot. Oh. Luckily, you can't be called for doubles on the first hit. Every now and then you get a bad ref that doesn't know what they're doing. Oh, that ball smoked into the seats. Hopefully no one gets hurt. It's a volleyball. I don't think anyone will get hurt.
Nah.
But a point for the Dragons there is Avery Reed back to serve and Courtney Dungy coming in for Darren Brown.
Looks like Dragons are coming back after that long break.
Yeah, Cape Notre Dame maybe a little aggravated, a little roll shot. Reed fields it. Over to Baumgartner, over to Reynolds. The ball's hit out. Another hitting error for the Dragons this set. They have to be up to 3 or 4. You know, if they didn't have any hitting errors, you have to imagine that they'd be winning right now. And a sub looks like number 24. Taylor Allen, maybe checking into the game for the first time. I'm not too sure, but she is back to serve.
Oh.
The ball's played up, still up. What a play by Madison Reynolds and the St. John Lady Dragons. Oh, and that ball is in. Another questionable call by the line judge.
Great play by Madison Reynolds.
You know, first the ball was hit up by Allie Grass. And it looked like Madison had no chance on it, but she got that ball up somehow. But it is 10-7 here for the Lady Bulldogs. In control of the second set. Back to Brown. Kind of pops it up. Might have been out. Over to Reynolds. You got to stay down if you're in back row in front of the 10-foot line. Oh, and it looks like the middle was going for a little back 6 there, otherwise known as a slide, and she just overran it just a little. It's a substitution now, number 50, Allison Jansen coming in for Taylor Allen. Oh, and it looks like Jansen checks right back out. I don't know who came in. Over to the libero. To the setter. That ball's out. Now it is a 10-9 lead for the Lady Bulldogs. St. John definitely want to mount a comeback here. They want to put this game away. With the game tomorrow, you want to go home and get some rest. Swing. Oh, Humboldt gets it up. That was a valiant effort, but no one will be there to get the ball. Partly because it hit the wall, and that means the point goes to the Lady Bulldogs. But oh well. This is number 3 with the serve, Shelby Bowens. That ball is blocked, maybe, in the net. I don't know, one of the two. But it will be Cape Notre Dame's point. A 12-9 lead now for the Bulldogs. Bowens with the serve. Oh, a nice serve. That one just kind of dipped right as soon as it came over the net. Over to Reynolds.
Oh.
That ball is out. Very close. Very, very close, but no cigar there for Reynolds. Looks like Coach Hess getting a little flustered with her team. I just saw her take a deep breath and just kind of blow it out. Oh, roll shot is a good idea. That ball is hit out. There's a point for the Dragons. 13-10 now for the Bulldogs.
Both teams are really hitting it out in this set.
Yeah, a lot of hitting errors so far this set. You got to imagine if it wasn't for that delay, we'd be pretty close to being done with this set, maybe even the game. Oh, nice serve by Lamandir. That is an ace for Drew, her second of the game. It's now 13-11 Bulldogs. Once again, homecoming, September 23rd and 24th. Come out to the St. John football game, September 23rd. It will be a fun night. Block up. What a pancake by Reynolds. Well, yeah, that was Reynolds. Another tip. Lamandir with the diving play.
They are really playing the net tight.
Yeah, they really want this game. Over to Lamandir. Over to Reynolds. Blocked.
Oh.
That is a big deflating block. And guess who it was? Number 16, Lexi Welter with the block again. Her 4th or 5th block of the night. She is a wall up there. A lefty that plays, oh, right-handed. I lied, never mind. What game am I watching?
Obviously not this one.
Sorry.
It looks like it's going to be a point for the Bulldogs.
15-11 now. Bulldogs want this game, it looks like, just as bad as St. John does. You know, they might feel like they're the better team after this weekend with the split sets. Reynolds swinging middle for one, right down the middle, no one home. Another kill for Madison Reynolds. Lots of kills for her tonight. The Dragons' leading hitter on the season. Madison not only plays volleyball, but also plays basketball and does track. She actually owns a couple of the track and field records here at St. John, I believe, for the 100-meter, 200-meter, and the 110 hurdles, if I'm correct, Adria.
I think you are. Madison is solid in every sport she plays.
You know, a senior, I wonder if she plans on playing sports in college after this year.
I believe she's wanting to play basketball more than anything, but I know she's having a lot of offers from track and field.
Oh, yeah, I believe it. You know, setting school records, not an easy thing to do. Over to Reed, a tight set, not much you can do.
Really tight on the net. Looks like Cape Notre Dame got the ball right over.
Yeah, and a timeout. Is that her second timeout of the set?
Yes, it is.
That's her second timeout of the set. 17-12 here for the Bulldogs. And the Dragons got to be wondering, you know, we just got to limit our errors. Little update for you Cardinal fans out there. The Cardinals are up 6-5 over the Pittsburgh Pirates right now.
That's great news.
The last update I got says that. It was in the 5th inning. We were up 4-0. 5-0 actually, because Yachty hit a grand slam, and then Adams hit a home run. But back to this game. Dragons calling a timeout. And a parent starting a cheer.
Sounds like the parent is louder than the whole crowd.
Yeah, like I said, not much of a spirit crowd for the Dragons here tonight.
I know there was a JV football game and freshman, I believe.
Yeah, they played. Were they at Hillsborough?
No, they were home.
They were home against
Yes.
Hillsborough. Yeah, both a JV and a freshman game today. So that is where most of the people are at tonight. Shanked pass.
Oh.
And it looks like Reynolds and Lamandier both went after it, but just a miscommunication. Cross country again this Saturday, our first race of the year at Forest Park. Going to be more than likely a beautiful day, you know, as we head into this fall weather.
Today was ratherly hot, though.
Today was really hot. It was like 106 degrees on the heat index. That's no fun. Out to Reed and the net. No touch. 19-12 now for the Bulldogs. They are wanting to put the set away. The Dragons came out a little rattled. You know, maybe they're just they underestimated on the second set. Serve. You see a lot of the Dragons wearing wrist tape. You know, just could be tired hands. And a tip now is that will be a point for the Dragons, 19-13.
I believe that was Baumgartner over with the tip, or was it Avery?
I'm not sure.
Either one works. It was a point for us.
Yeah. Softball tomorrow at home against who?
Festus.
Festus tomorrow. That game will be broadcasted. The volleyball game will not be broadcasted tomorrow. It is very hard to be in two spots with all this equipment at the same time.
Is tomorrow volleyball's game at home, you said?
Yes, tomorrow is at home against DeSoto. Battle of the Dragons. Come out.
Support. Be loud and be proud of that green. And it looks like a tip over by the Cape Notre Dame, and it's going to be a point for them.
21-13 now for Cape Notre Dame. Opened up to an 8-point lead. You know, at one point it was 10-9, and it looks like Coach Hess did have another timeout. So this is her second timeout of the set at a 21-13 score for the Bulldogs. And, you know, if you're the Bulldogs, you got to be imagining, let's just put this one away and hope to go to 3. And if you're the Dragons, you know, if you're Coach Hess, you're probably saying, you know, we need to limit our errors, ladies. You know, if it wasn't for all these errors, you know, it could be a tie. We could even be in the lead right now. But that is not the case, so we will see what happens. And another, same parent starting the cheer. She is proud of her St. John Dragons. Some chuckles coming from the crowd.
Looks like Spirit Crowd isn't doing very well with her.
Well, I mean, it's hard to do Spirit Crowd when you have like 7 people.
True.
Slide by Reed. Partially blocked. Oh, some miscommunication. Free ball sent over. Over to Lamandier. Up to Reed. What a dig. Number 16, Lexi Welter again. Oh, she gets it up again.
She's like
and the ball is still in play. What a play by Cape Notre Dame. They are really hustling. Over to Reed again. She just kind of flops that one up in the air. To Welter. That one is hit out. There's a point for the Dragons. You can never give up on that ball. Never know what a play is going to turn into, but if you don't give up. Baumgartner back to serve. No libero right now for Cape Notre Dame. That's a good dig by Reynolds over to Humboldt. She puts it down. The Dragons maybe mounting a comeback here. They got some gas left in the tank. 21-15.
They're ready for that 10-point comeback right now.
Yeah. That was partially touched by the Dragons on the net. The setter turns and swings on it. Reynolds sends a free ball over. Could have been called for a double. Very close there. A slide. Oh, that was not blocked. Ball is still up for the Dragons. You know, the crowd was saying 4. They did not think that was touched. Over to Humboldt. That ball is in. A bump kill. And they will call someone in the net. Wow. Looked like number 8, Allie Grass, was called in the net there. There's a 22-15 lead now for the Bulldogs. A couple questionable calls there by the officials. It looks like Coach Hess is not very happy with the calls. The crowd definitely wanted a 4-hit call. Yeah, Coach Hess is definitely not happy. You know, with these line judges, or with a line judge, I should say, and these officials. Over to Reed. That ball was up, but it went out of play. 22-16 now for the Bulldogs. As Avery Reed will go back to serve. Dunsey in for Brown. Coach Hess trying to get her team fired up. And the serve is over. Over to the right side. Tip. Reed. The ball's played out of the net. Free ball sent over by Humboldt. And it is out. So we will move to 2 points away for the Bulldogs for a set 2 victory, which means we would go to 3. It looks like 2 substitutions here. Number 24 and number 5. Number 5, Hannah Landaway, and number 24, Taylor Allen will both come in. Allen will go back to serve. Landaway will go into the front row. You know, maybe if you're Cape Notre Dame, you're thinking this set's over. We can just maybe rest our starters a little bit. Swing. That is out. 23-17 Dragons. That was number 16, Lexi Welter on the swing. As number 50 will come back in, Allison Jensen for number 24, Taylor Allen. And the libero will come back into the game. That is number 1, Mariana Below. She has been very solid defensively this game. Not many mistakes, if any. Blocked. Yes, straight down. 23-18 now. Dragons trying to mount a comeback.
That was a solid block played by Courtney and Madison both.
Yeah, that is Courtney's third joint block of the game. No solos yet, but we will definitely keep eye for one. That is partially touched again over to Baumgartner. Out to Reynolds. Straight down. Dragons with another point. 23-19. Just a 4-point lead for the Bulldogs now. Maybe they're getting a little flustered. Maybe underestimating this St. John team in the second set. As Humboldt will go back to serve again. Some topspin. What a pass by the libero. But that one is heading to the net by Reynolds. And then it will now be set point for the Bulldogs. Like I said, if they win this set, we will go to a third one. I don't know if it'll go to 15 points or 25 points. Usually it depends on the coaches and the referees. That ball is out. So this game will not end on this point. 24-20. If you're the Dragons, you need to score three straight here. Maybe even 4, just trying to go on a run here. If you're the Dragons, can't give up any points. Volleyball, you got to win by 2. So if you're the Dragons, you know, if you drop a point here, this set is over. Roll shot. Humboldt. Over to Reynolds. Block. That would have been out, but Brown played it. Out to Baumgartner. That one is hit out. So Darren Brown, the ball looked like it would have been out, but we will go to a third set. Third set here, the captains will go up for the coin flip to decide who serves and who receives for this third set. Looks like most of the Spirit crowd is leaving now. All 7 of them. There they go, one by one. A couple St. John faithful still over there. As they will switch sides. They might be switching sides at 8 points if they are going to 15, but I'm not sure. If you're the Dragons or the Bulldogs here, you're thinking, you know, just make smart decisions. Just put the ball in play, and, you know, don't worry about hitting the ball hard. Just put it in play. It doesn't matter how it drops. As long as it drops, you're good. Players to watch in this third set still the same. We'll start with the Lady Bulldogs here. Number 16, Lexi Welter, been very consistent up in the front row for the Lady Bulldogs, you know, with a couple blocks, couple big kills. To go with that, she's an outside right side hitter. They will go number 2, the setter, Maddie McClintock. She has been all over the court, a couple blocks, couple kills, you know, 10 or 11 assists, if not more. She has been very consistent for the Lady Bulldogs as well. And then you got that pesky libero in the back row, Mariana Bello, number 1, a senior. She has played very good defense tonight, been all over the court as well. And for the Dragons, you got to look for number 3, Madison Reynolds, number 14, Drew Lamandier, and number 22, Courtney Dunsey. You know, the Dragons might be looking to Madison and Courtney to, you know, really carry them through this third and final set for the win. If your coach has, you know, you just got to be telling them, like I've been saying, you know, limit the errors, limit the errors, limit the errors. That has to be her point of emphasis right now, because if it wasn't for the errors in the last set, I feel like St. John would have won it.
Definitely.
And the Dragons, we got about a minute left until the third set will start. As you see, Mr. Banks, the line judge for the Lady Dragons. Talking to the your up ref, your main ref, and the teams will take their positions as another lineup check will be coming. Hopefully we get this one right.
Hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't take 20 minutes again.
Hopefully not. That would really stink. Once again, I've been saying it a lot tonight, but homecoming, it's going to be fun. September 23rd, the football game. The dance is September 24th. Come on out to St. Gen. The game is against, do you know who the homecoming game is against, Adria?
I think it's against, no, I don't know.
Farmington, maybe?
No. I don't think so.
Potosi?
I think it might be the Potosi Trojans.
All right.
I think.
We don't know. Preliminary thought, Potosi Trojans.
It looks
Played
like
up, got to get it over. And how was that, too? I really don't know how that was, too. But the Bulldogs will take a 1-0 lead. Many questionable calls here by the refs and line judges. Out to Reynolds. That ball is hit out. She got a little too much under the ball, maybe even overran it a little. Definitely cannot do that. That ball will sail on out of bounds. Need to get on top of the ball and keep it in front of you. Serve, Reynolds. Lamondier just pops it up. Not much you can do. And Baumgartner catches it too low. 3-0 now for the Lady Bulldogs.
it almost looks like the Dragons already gave up this set.
Yeah, it looks like they're very deflated, very tired. You know, Coach Hess not a coach to play too many players. She plays her sixth and might make 1 or 2 subs in the rotation. Dunzy, there's that pesky libero, Hannah Bello. That ball's out. Very close, very, very close. Mr. Banks just called that one out, though. The refs agreed with him, so now it will be St. John serve. Drew Lamondier back to serve. She's been very consistent with her serves tonight. That is one thing the Dragons have done well tonight. I don't think they have many missed serves. Oh, Humboldt was right there. Out to Reynolds. Partially blocked. Over to the libero. Just kind of pops it up. Humboldt with the pass. Oh, to Baumgartner. Blocked, but it is up. What a play by Drew Lamondier. She's been all over the court tonight. Tight to the net. Drew's going to have to play that one out. And wow, she is called in the net. I did not think she was in the net, Adria.
No, I didn't think so either.
I mean, it must have been her knuckle that touched that, barely scraped the net. But, you know, when you're getting a pass tight to the net, you know, there's really not much you can do. Swing by Reynolds. She cuts that one back. Out to number 10. Blocked. That one will go out of bounds. A blocking error. So now 5-1 for the Lady Bulldogs. Coach Hess looks a little flustered. One of the few times I've seen her flustered so far this year with her team. Over to Humboldt. That was a beautiful pass. Over to Reynolds. That is partially blocked. It will go out of bounds off the Bulldogs. So now 5-2 now. As Courtney Dunsey will go back to serve. Avery Reed in for Darren Brown. And the serve by Dunsey. Gets, short serve. To the outside. Oh, Dunsey gets it up. Very hard for a middle to do that. Tip. Lamondier there. They're going to go out to Reynolds. Popped straight up. Is it deep? It is up. It is up. What a play by Jennifer Humboldt and Drew Lamondier. Ball is up. Sam calls it. Goes down the line with the tip. Tight pass. Slide. It is up. Humboldt with another good pass. Out to Reynolds. Oh, down the line, the ball is still in play. What a rally here. What a play by Madison Reynolds. Another beautiful dig, but that ball is hit out on the free ball by Avery, trying to pin it in the back corner. Just missed it. A lot of beautiful plays there for the Dragons on defense, and the Bulldogs really not giving up either. Short serve. Reynolds gets it up somehow. Over to Reed. That ball will drop, so now 6-3 for the Bulldogs. Madison Reynolds, one of our best servers, back to serve. She is the captain for a reason. They are looking on her for leadership right now. Number 50, blocked straight down. I believe that was Avery Reed and Sam Baumgartner on the block. The serve gets over. Tip. Doesn't get over the net. 5-6 now. Bulldogs still in the lead, but only by 1. This game, I should say, has been back and forth pretty much the whole time. Madison Reynolds back to serve. Gets the okay from the ref and the serve. Pins it in that back corner. Libero gets it to the outside. Touched. What a pass. Oh, Humboldt with a little tape shot. Tip. Humboldt right there. Beautiful coverage off the net. Reed, what a shot. Reed has really woken up in this third set with a block and I believe a kill or two. He's now 6-6. Tied up here in the third set. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to 15 or 25 tonight, folks, but we are in for a good third set. Bello. Pass. Lamondier right there. Stayed locked in on that ball. The hit by Reynolds. That is in. As the Dragons were down 6-2, now they're up 7-6. 5 straight points for the Dragons. Coach Hess is fired up. And Cape Notre Dame's coach, I heard her just say, we got to play our game now. Come on. Get back in the groove. A little miscommunication there from the setter and the libero. Reynolds out to Humboldt. Touched. To the setter, McClintock, 16. Gets it over to Humboldt. Another point for the Dragons. A 6-point swing here in the third set. Dragons now up 8-6.
Dragons are coming out strong now.
Yeah, they have really woken up this third set. Oh, a blocking error. And that will give the Bulldogs a point. 8-7 now. Very tight set. Adria, some of your fellow classmates playing in this game tonight, what have you thought of their performance so far?
I think they're actually doing really well, except for some of the missed serves and the missed hits. But besides that, they have been coming out strong and ready to play.
Block. Oh, Humboldt tries to get there. She's a little far off the net. Can't get there. It's now 8-8. Tied up. Tomorrow, 2 games at home. We have volleyball against DeSoto at home and softball against Festus at Leon's Field. 4. I don't know how that was 4, but it was. 9-8 now for the Bulldogs. A little 3-point swing here back in the Bulldogs' favor. They are back up on the top. Back to Reynolds. That is out 10-8 now for the Bulldogs. As we will chase down the ball. Or not we, I should say. The players will chase down the ball with some help from the crowd. Oh, a tape shot. Just bounced over. Out to Reed. That's a touch. Would have been 2, but you can't call it on the first hit. Right through the hole in the block. That's a good read by Humboldt, seeing no one was in the back corner. She would have hit it a little farther. I feel like it would have been landed. To Reed. Yes, off the block. Right off the top of the block. They mistimed the block a little bit. That is what you have to do if you're St. John. As now Allie Grass will come in for Drew Lamondier. And I believe she will go over and play the right side.
Avery Reed is having one heck of a set this game.
Yeah, this third set, she has really woken up. Kind of been a quiet game for her otherwise, but this third set, a slide now. Good block. That was Reed and Humboldt. It's a free ball sent over. Could have been 2, and some miscommunication for the Dragons. 11-9. Is now number 2, Maddie McClintock, the setter. She is a senior. She will be back to serve. She is left-handed. Good little float serve. The ball is up. Oh, Grass kind of knuckled in on her. It's 12-9 now. And a timeout called by Coach Hess. It's her first timeout of the set. As the teams will gather and discuss what they need to do a little better or what they need to capitalize on. If you're the Dragons, they've been playing well. Just a lot of miscommunication this set. The first set was great for the Dragons. The second set, a lot of hitting errors, and now this set has been miscommunication. If you're the Bulldogs, you got to be telling if you're their coach, you got to be telling them hit it in between players, hit it where they're not, so they'll there might be some miscommunication. The ball will drop, and that will be a point for us. Just 1 point closer to winning the game.
And in volleyball, miscommunication is one of the key things you can't do.
Yeah, just having 6 people to cover that whole court, a lot of people say that's too many, but it's really not. A lot of miscommunication goes on. You know, a lot of people like to say yours, and, you know, that's definitely something you can't do because every time every time I hear someone talk, I automatically think mine. And I'm like, oh, okay, they're going to get that. But when they say yours, it really messes with my mind. I'm sure I'm not the only one. As the serve by McClintock. Shanked pass by Grass. Sent over. Tandem. That is a. Oh, I thought that was definitely out.
That looked out.
That definitely did look out, but it is a point for the Bulldogs, 13-9.
Whenever number 16's hitting, you really got to be ready to defend the ball.
Yeah, the tandem on that. That was a beautiful tandem by the setter set there. Back to Reed. And a point for the Dragons, 13-10, as there was a little 7-1 run, or 7-2 run so far for the Bulldogs recently. Reed back to serve. This is a missed serve. 14-10 now for the Bulldogs. As number 24, Taylor Allen will come in for number 50, Allison Jensen, a substitution that's been made all game long. And the libero will come out as well. Overall, well-played game. Passes up by Humboldt, sets it right back to her. The ball is out. 15-10. Looks like we'll be going to 25, but 15-10 here for the Bulldogs. Allen will be the server. You know, if you're St. John, it's not too late to make a comeback. It's never too late. Oh. 16-10 for the Bulldogs, and Dragons are looking a little deflated. If your coach has, you got to be thinking about calling your second timeout here. The Bulldogs, you know, they're definitely going on a run here. They definitely want this game. They definitely want to win. Dragons won the first set. Bulldogs won the second set. Third set still in play. The swing. Reynolds plays it in the back corner. Over to Humboldt. Hits it right at number 24. That's Taylor Allen. The block goes out of bounds. You got to angle your hands in. Number 16. That is Lexi Welter with another kill. You know, she has to be nearing up to 10 kill range as of right now. You know, you got to imagine she's having a great game, you know, 8 or 9 kills, maybe even 10, you know, along with 4 or 5 blocks and a couple really good passes. That ball is hit out. Dragons needed that point, 17-11. Humboldt will go back to serve. Lamadier will come in for Grass, and a substitution made. The libero, number 1, Mariana Bello, back in for number 50, Allison Jensen. Allen will take a seat. Allen will take a seat, too. English is hard.
Really
a big
is.
block by Dunsey and Reynolds. Going to the outside. What a dig by Brown. That is tight to the net. You're going to have to play it up and out, but they can't. An overpass there by Brown. Was there for the dig. And another substitution now for the Bulldogs, number 22. Brooke Blankenship coming in for number 3, Shelby Bowens.
I think they just, okay. They messed up the scoreboard for a second.
Is it? Yeah, it needs to be 18. Some more.
They had 12 to 17, and then they got rid of the Dragons.
Yeah,
and gave it to the.
This Cape Notre Dame crowd was all over. They've been all over these scorekeepers. It was a lot harder than it looks. The Cape Notre Dame coach not happy with that call, kind of stomped her foot. She wanted the 4 call. Block up by Brown. Over to Reynolds, a roll shot. That one will land. Dragons needed that point, 18-12. Coach Hess is up and kind of pacing around. Now she's crouching down as Drew Lamadier will go back to serve. Dribbles the ball, steps up to serve. The serve is over. It was a good serve. A big block there for Courtney Dunsey. Like I said, she is a player to watch. She leads the team in blocks per set. And I think she has around 1 or 1.3 blocks a set. She has been on fire tonight on the defensive side. To the outside again. That ball is hit out. Humboldt almost got hit in the head on that one. She almost did like a matrix move on that. Now Lamadier will go back to serve. Dribbles the ball. Steps up to the line and the serve. And what a serve. That one really dropped down quick. You could hear all of the Cape Notre Dame players going out, and a timeout will be called here by Cape Notre Dame. St. John on a run. 18-15 is your score. The Bulldogs in the lead. Your coach has, you got to be telling them, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. I just heard her say, snap your wrist, and, you know, kind of lifting her arm up, snapping her wrist. And another parent starting a cheer. Who needs a spirit crowd? You always have parents. They always come and support.
Very true.
Here at St. John, we appreciate our parents. Let's give a big shout out to our parents. You know, us as students, we might not say it all the time, but we thank you guys for, you know, everything you guys do for us. You know, as players or as, you know, just at home. We thank you guys for everything you do. Oh, played up. Lamadier gets there. They're going to have to send a free ball over on this one. Bumgarner sends it over. That ball is out. 19-15 now. Bulldogs in control.
With this side of a game, no free ball should be out at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you're St. John, you got to get your free balls inbounds. Free balls, they're called free balls for a reason. To Brown, good pass. Over to Reynolds. Blocked. Brown right there on the cover. Bumgarner sends it over to the outside. That is in right down the line for the Bulldogs. Number 10, Sam Brennan with more than a few kills this game as well. So Sam Brennan, and she's in the background now, but Lexi Welter, two players you got to watch out for in the front row. Cape Notre Dame, they love to set their outsides. Just a little dump by Lamadier. And another point. Timeout call by Coach Hess. She is looking flustered. 21-15 now. Cape Notre Dame in the lead. They are 4 points away from putting this game away. If St. John drops this one, you have to imagine they're going to go in tomorrow and really be frustrated with themselves. You know, winning the first set and dropping the next two. Definitely frustrating as a player, as a team, as a coach. But again, tomorrow, come out and see your Lady Dragons play either the Festus Tigers for softball or the DeSoto Did I say Festus Dragons?
No, you said the Oh, wait, I think you did.
Festus Tigers. My English is really not working tonight.
It's all good. You correct yourself.
Festus Tigers. Tigers. Festus Tigers.
DeSoto Dragons.
DeSoto Dragons. There we go.
And it looks like the parents are cheering the Dragons on as they come back out in the court.
Yeah, the parents have been really loud tonight on both sides. A little bit of a shanked pass there by Brown. Free ball's going to be sent over by Bumgarner. McClintock. That's a block. Ball is up. Over to Reynolds. And the point will go to the Dragons, 21-16. Dragons really trying to make a comeback. Avery Reed will come in for Darren Brown. Courtney Dunsey back to serve. And the front row for the Dragons, you got Madison Reynolds, Sam Bumgarner, and Avery Reed. As number 4 for the Cape Notre Dame Lady Bulldogs, Lauren Boswell, I believe, checking into the game. For number 16, a big hitter for the Bulldogs. You gotta wonder, why are they taking her out? Maybe an injury. Reed, yes. 21-17. Reed has really woken up this set. Just killed that one straight down off of the overpass. Definitely something you can't do when you're tight to the net. Up to number 10. Lamadier's there. A joust won by Sam Bumgarner, the setter. Going up and winning the joust against number 10, Sam Brennan, a big hitter for the Lady Bulldogs. Now 21-18 for the Bulldogs as Courtney Dunsey will be back to serve. Dunsey with the serve. She has, the serve is short and into the net, 22-18. As number 50, Allison Jensen will check into the game for number 5, Hannah Landaway. Libero number 1, Mariana Below back to serve. Fielded by our libero, Darren Brown. Over to Reynolds. Did not penetrate the net quite enough. A point for the Dragons, 22-19. That was a really good, right side set by, I believe it was Sam on that. Over to Bello. Roll shot. Reynolds there. She has been all over tonight.
I think there was a, yep,
there was a touch.
Tip.
That line judge, he is really trying to milk these refs, I guess. Number 16, Lexi Welter checking into the game for number 4, Lauren Boswell. They have both their big hitters out there. To the right side, tip. That is in. Almost could have been called a throw. That was 23-24. Your lady, or not your Lady Bulldogs. What am I talking about? For the Lady Bulldogs, as I believe it was number 3, Shelby Bowens checking into the game. That pass is shanked. Brown, take the hard crash into the wall. Is now his game point here for the Bulldogs. Number 10, Sam Brennan will be back to serve. Trying to put this game away for the Bulldogs. Over to Reynolds, over to Baumgartner. The tip, very good by Reed staying out of the net. That ball's hit out. Dragons live for another point. 24-21 here for the Bulldogs. And a substitution made, Allie Grass for Drew Lamandier. Sam Baumgartner will be back to serve. Very nerve-wracking in one of these type moments. And a point for the Dragons. Again, some miscommunication for the Bulldogs. 24-22 here for your Dragons.
Only 2 points behind. Can they do it?
Yeah, they're trying to make a comeback here. You got to, no points dropped. You got to win this point and the next if you want to extend the game. Tip. Over to Baumgartner. She will set the middle. That is tight. But we get the ball over somehow.
They are playing it on the net like no other.
Grass keeps the ball in play. You're really going to have to hook that one, Sam. And she does it somehow. The dump. Baumgartner gets it up. Sends it deep. And that will be the game. A beautifully played game by both teams. It wasn't St. Jane's night tonight. Cape Notre Dame with the win. 2-1. And that, I'd say the MVP of this game had to be number 16 for the Lady Bulldogs, Lexi Welter. She was all over the place defensively and offensively. A lot of good passes, a lot of good blocks, a lot of good hits. What are your opinions, Adria?
I think both teams came out ready to play tonight. Just Dragons couldn't pull it off, but Cape Notre Dame, great win for them.
Yeah, definitely a great win. If you're the Dragons, you got to be a little frustrated with yourselves after winning that first set, dropping the next two, and splitting with them this past weekend. But tomorrow, the Dragons have a chance for redemption against the DeSoto Dragons, and another game tomorrow as well. Your softball Dragons will be facing the Festus Tigers out at Leon's Field. Come on out and support. As now both teams will head into the locker room. Cape Notre Dame will head home. They have quite a drive home. They won't be home until late. And the Dragons, Coach Hess went back to talk to them. We do not have an interview planned for tonight, so I apologize for that. But we're pretty much going to get off here. This is Troy Johnson and Adria Mueller signing off.